So, how can you manage your nerves and your anxiety leading up to competition day? All right, especially if you're a novice. Okay, this is your first time competing. You've never felt what it feels like to get ready. To wake up that morning, to pack your bag. To go to the venue, to put on your competition layer of tan, get your hair and makeup done. To stand on stage in a bikini in front of all of those people. In heels and go and do your thing. It's intimidating. Most people, and this is real, very, very real. I've been doing this for quite a long time. Most athletes are not natural when it comes to posing, standing on stage, being in heels, being in front of crowds, especially in a bikini. Okay, that is a persona they take on. It is something that they become comfortable in based off of their effort. Remember, self-confidence is you keeping promises to yourself. Okay, and the more promises you keep to yourself, the more you show up for yourself, the more you do what you're supposed to do on a daily basis, ticking the boxes you're supposed to tick, the more confident you're going to become. The more prepared you are, okay, the more confident you're going to become, and the less anxious you're going to be for stage. So what do you do leading up to stage? Obviously to help with the nerves and the anxiety. First and foremost is to be as prepared as possible. Okay, it is unknown, so regardless of how many factors you have prepared for, there is going to be a level of nervousness when it comes to standing on stage posing. What I'm saying, you might shake a little bit in the knees, your lips might quiver a little bit, you might slightly momentarily black out and not know what is going on stage. It's all pretty normal and natural for your first show. Even those that are experienced get nervous and anxious because of that anticipation building up, and the expectations of others on their performance. But as a novice, you must just go and enjoy yourself. It is the first time you're going to stand on stage. There's no feeling like it. Of course, it is going to be overwhelming, but you are there to enjoy every second. And you're going to make that experience more enjoyable when you are prepared, when you've spent months and months practicing your posing, your presentation, knowing how to do your quarter turns or your half turns, knowing how to present your body, knowing how to walk in heels, knowing how to smile and obviously have that stage persona. It's very, very important. You can't just 2 weeks before try and fake this kind of like confidence on stage. It comes from hours and hours, weeks and weeks, months and months of practicing and mastering this craft. So that would be first and foremost, is presentation and posing wise, be well prepared beforehand and put those hours in. Second thing is you have to physically be ready. There's a level of self-confidence and ease and peace when you look the best that you've ever looked. Okay, so when you're a few kgs overweight and now you have to go stand on stage, you're going to be doubtful. You're not going to feel super confident. But if you look the best that you've ever looked, do you get what I'm trying to say? You're going to be like, this is the best I've ever been. I'm already a champion. I've already won. I am so ready for this. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't possibly have been better because I've never been better than this. That feeling is a feeling you want to wake up with, that you are the best that you've ever been, that you've worked, and left no stone unturned. That is very, very important, is physically, condition-wise, being ready for stage. Okay, so the first one is posing and presentation, being prepared. Second one is physically being ready and conditioned for stage. The third one is it's a perspective change. Okay, take the expectation off of this day. Stop comparing yourself to others. This is not about anyone else. This is not you versus the girls on stage. This is you versus you. This is you fulfilling a dream, standing on stage, doing something that you a few months ago thought was out there. Wow, unbelievable. How can I ever be brave enough to do that? But look what you are doing. You are here. Reflect on that. Reflect on how far you've come. Keep a grateful heart. Count your blessings. Okay? Know that God has gone before you. His will be done. Okay? Whatever happens on that stage is out of your control. It's a subjective sport. Okay? Who is meant to win on this day is going to win on this day. The best that you can do is control the controllables and leave the rest to God and trust no matter what happens, whether it's for you, okay, or it's not, necessarily the result that you want, that you trust that fully, that you're grateful for where you are and the journey that you've had, and that you know His plans for you are better than what your plans are for yourself. That a loss sometimes is far more valuable in the long run than a win. Do you get what I'm trying to say? To get that fuel, that hunger, that feeling of, I don't want to feel this again, sometimes exactly what a future champion needs to work extra hard and never ever, obviously allow themselves, to not be their very best on stage. And if it is your day, unbelievable. Thank you, Lord. You get what I'm trying to say. But it's not that is, necessarily the end all and be all of everything. If you are competing for the wrong reasons and it's for validation and it's to be the best and beat everyone and, obviously, all of these silly things that, it takes the joy out of the sport. You do this because you love working out. You love inspiring others. You want to prove something to yourself on a deeper level, and you are in love with this journey and how it makes you feel about yourself. That's what it's all about. All right. So nerve-wise, be prepared, for a little bit of nerves. After your first experience on stage, I promise you, 80% of that goes away. Okay. Now you've experienced the shaky knees. Now you've experienced not really turning the right way, or not knowing what to do, or not hearing the announcer, or whatever the case maybe is. Once that is done, it is done. And then you can move forward and really get the full experience from shows. So that's generally my best advice, is just having the right outlook when it comes to stage, being as prepared as possible, and doing it for the right reasons, and knowing that God's plan, at the end of the day, is far better than your own plans for yourself. Trust that He has already gone before you, that His will be done. Walk on stage to glorify His name. You know what I'm saying? Walk on stage with that Godfidence. You get what I'm trying to say? That is my biggest advice when it comes to, how to deal with your nerves and your anxiety leading up to stage. All right, hope that helps. God bless.